everyone. It's Thursday. It's October the 6th. I know I'm in a little different spot today, but nothing really new has been introduced. I just still wanted to make a video just to kind of let everybody know what's been going on, making sure that everybody's on the right page for homework, and just talk about what we did in class today. So it's crazy. We're off Monday, and then we have to kind of smush everything into 4 days. And I feel like sometimes 4 days feels longer than a full weekday just because there's so much to do. And it was funny today, every morning during morning meeting, I go over the schedule and what we have to do today. And I went over everything, and I had a student today say, "Wow, that's a jam-packed day, Mrs. Vale." And I said, yeah, it's pretty much jam-packed every single day. So earlier this morning for reading, again, we're still focusing on our story, The Trial of Cardigan Jones. We summarized the story yet again, and I practiced some of the open-ended ACEs that we're going to be doing as the year progresses. So I modeled one for them, and we, talked all about it, and it was a different question, and I said this was my answer. What kind of grade would you give Mrs. Phelan if this was it? So again, we talked through the ACE. So ACE is ACE, which is A stands for you have to answer the question, and you also have to restate the question being asked. C is citing evidence from the text. So that means you're going back into the story and using any details from the story to help support your answer by using language such as on page 62, the author said that, or on page 75 in the illustration, it shows that. So we're trying to really get the students to practice using the story to help them answer the question without them copying it and just trying to use their own words. So that's what the C stands for. Then the E stands for evidence. So you're adding evidence and details to your story. So you're extending your answer and making it longer. So again, we're not a 1 or 2 sentence answer is not going to get you a really good grade. So I showed them one of my examples, and they all told me I could probably maybe get an A or a B. They were honest, so that's okay. And then we actually answered an ACE together as a class, so a totally different question. Because next week is going to be the first official ACE that I'm going to grade for them. So I'm going to review everything with them again before we do it. The first couple of times, I know it's difficult. It's definitely challenging. But as the year progresses, everybody does a really, really great job because we go over the story each week. We're talking about the characters, the setting. We're focusing on different skills each week. So I feel really confident that the students are going to do a really great job with their open-ended responses. Again, with personal narratives and writing, we're still moving right along. We are continuing our paragraphs using those linking words first, next, then, after that, and finally. So I think we'll probably finish that up probably on Monday. Then in social studies, we were talking about the voting process, and we read a really funny story called Duck for President, which takes us through a duck wanting to run the farm. And then he ends up winning the votes of all the farm animals, and then he runs for governor and eventually runs for president. So we talked about what the voting process is, what an election is, why is it important to have a voting process, and why is it important to actually vote. So that was really interesting, and the students loved the story. In math today, we actually took a little quiz. It was on arrays and area, which was great. It was just 5 questions. And I said to them, if you're paying attention and doing your homework and doing everything right, this should not be a problem. And as I was walking around, it looked like everybody was doing a really, really good job. So just a quick little quiz just so that I can see where everybody stands and if I need to go back and, cover up or re-go over some different things. So that's fine. And I also introduced a fun game called Comparing and Count. But we didn't get a chance to play it just because we were running out of time, so we're going to play it tomorrow, so no worries. But it involves these fancy little array cards, as you can see. This one is 5 times 8 or 8 times 5. So we have all big bags of array cards. Students made their own, but I have some as well. And you're working either with a partner or a group of 3. And you deal out all the array cards just like you would a deck of cards. So everybody gets the same amount of array cards. Then you pile it up, whatever one's on top, you show, and you have to see who has the biggest array. However, the only catch is you can't count by one, so you can't just go and count each individual one of these squares. You have to use different strategies to help you figure out who has the bigger array. So the first strategy is maybe just solving the actual multiplication problem. So here, if I knew 5 times 8 or 8 times 5, I could say, oh, well, I have 40. you might not know this right away, and that's okay. If you don't know the multiplication equation right off the top of your head, another strategy you could do is maybe skip count. So I can see that I have 5 times 8, or 5 groups of 8. So I could count by 8s if I wanted to, but I'd rather count by 5s. So I would maybe do the 8 by 5 and do 8 groups of 5. So I could count 5 8 times and figure out that that's 40. Or I could just literally look at the different arrays and see what my other friends have. So maybe if somebody has a little tiny one, such as, that's Miss Gaskins in the corner. She's being recorded. If you have a smaller one, clearly my 1 times 7 is smaller than my 5 times 8. So I would win if I had this one and you had this one. So that's kind of the game. So there's different strategies that you can do to be able to figure out that who has the bigger array. Obviously, I would like for you to be able to know that multiplication equation. You might not right away. That's okay. We're going to learn it as we go through. Again, that's why I'm teaching you all of these different strategies for when you come to a more difficult multiplication equation, you know how to figure it out, okay? So that's exactly what we're doing. So all during math tomorrow, this is what we're doing. We're playing this game. So I'm really excited. I know the students are excited about that as well, and it can be done at home. It can be done anywhere for any different level. So that's why I love this game, just because it's fun, it's interactive, you're working on multiplication, you're looking at arrays, you're seeing the reciprocal multiplication facts, you're finding the product, and it's just a lot of things going on. So I'm really super stoked about that. So that's really it. Just as a reminder, tomorrow's physical fitness day, so please, please, please make sure you wear sneakers and just make sure that they're secure and you know that they're tied up, ready to go. It's supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, so if you want to bring like a jacket, but again, we're not going to be responsible for that. So just make sure that you leave something in class. You can bring water, but you're responsible for it. So if you leave it out on the parking lot when we do the pacer, then I'm not going to be able to send you back out and get it just because the whole school is going to be out doing physical fitness day tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. It might be a little chilly in the morning, but if you bring like a sweatshirt or a little jacket or a water bottle, it's your responsibility to remember those items and bring it with you. I'll try my best to remind you, but I'm only one person, and I might not be able to carry 18 coats and 18 water bottles. I think that's a little unfair. I work out and maybe I do some push-ups, but I don't know if I can carry that many items at once. But yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be a great day. I'm excited for our first physical fitness day, and we're going to have our spelling quiz, and then the afternoon we're going to do some social studies and play a math game. So have a wonderful night. Again, any questions at all, you can message me on Class Dojo, or you can shoot me an email, write a comment here on my YouTube video. Have a wonderful evening. Do your homework, then go outside and play. All right? I'll talk to you later. Bye.